Good morning from the Alton Towers Hotel Resort. I'm John from Not That Media, and I just thought this morning I would just take a little bit of time just to do a little bit of a walk through of the hotel. Nothing too over the top, not too many facts, just a little wander around. It's about 8 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, so it's quite quiet in the hotel at the moment. We found as we had a little wander before this is that this hotel actually connects to the water park hotel as well. So what I thought I'd do is just have a little walk around, go across the floors, point out a couple of things, and then just go around the hotel. Probably a 5-10 minute video, nothing too much like I say, but just a little something because this is the first time in a very long time I've been here. My wife Jo had never been here, so there's probably some people out there who'd be interested to know. We paid about £150 for one night, not resort tickets included, which came with breakfast. We stayed in the Arctic Explorer room, which it will be in the Alton Towers Day 1 video, I believe, for April 2024. So come along with me while we have a quick look around the resort. So to start with, when you drive up from the main road, it obviously points you either to park at the car parking for theme park only, or it points you in this direction. So we've got this wonderful fountain feature to begin with, continuing with the Arctic Explorer theme. So we've got what I assume to be a crashed vehicle. Oh, we've got the sun glare already. With a sarcophagus, helmets, golf clubs, all kinds of things, pot of gold. So it sets the tone as soon as you arrive. The main lobby is through these doors. We discovered yesterday that if you press the door buzzer, you do get a personal doorbell greeting. Whether or not it's working at this time, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll give it a go. No. Probably a bit too early, but it did work yesterday. So you walk through, and the first thing you see when you walk through is obviously the Alton Towers Resort logo. Now, when I was recording in here earlier, there was a high-pitched squeak. We couldn't quite work out if it was maybe a vacuum cleaner or a piece of equipment. So if you can hear that in the background, that is something that sadly is unavoidable. If while I'm editing it gets a little bit unbearable, I may just edit it out. So if the volume suddenly cuts out and there's music, that'll be why. So as soon as you walk into the lobby, you're greeted with a gift shop there. It's got quite a few different things in it. Most of the main attraction theme park ride merchandise, so 13, Rita, the Curse of Alton Tower Manor, and all those kind of bits and pieces. So check-in, when you come through the doors, you go to the right, and most of the check-in now is automated. So once you've checked in online, you do get and print one of these keys, so it's fairly simple. You do have to pay a £5 deposit when you sign in. Presumably, obviously, that's for room service, or perhaps if there's anything wrong during your stay, obviously they reserve the right to charge that or more. So we'll start on the top floor, which I believe is the, let's have a look, the conference, some of the conference, or the main Moon Voyage floor. Yeah, so I think this is the more premium rooms. I think the rooms me and Joe stayed in is the middle tier. It's not like Disney where you've got your premium grade and all that kind of stuff. There isn't really a differential, so it's just a case of what you like the most. So yeah, these are the rooms that are more, so you see, Gangster Granny themed, Chocolate, the Smiler, Sleepover, Peter Rabbit. So you can't actually get in there because, unlike the other floors, that actually does require a key code card to get through. Obviously mine is not enough. So view outside straight away is the CBeebies Land Hotel with the lake. So the main showpiece when you enter this hotel is this kind of pirate ship balloon, kind of evoking the old Woolly Fog and Around the World in 80 Days. So this is a moving contraption, and in the evenings There is where live entertainment was. So last night there was a live singer. She was dressed in a pirate theme, but she sang contemporary songs. She then did a little bit of a show for the children. So there's plenty to do, and there is a sign which I'll show you in just a moment, which kind of gives you all the activities that are on. If it is actually on, yeah, it is. So as soon as you walk in, you've got your information board. So an example for today, see the main Alton Towers resort is open 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Water park is the same, and the extraordinary golf is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's currently 8:05 in the morning, so we've got about an hour and 50 minutes before we need to make a move. Obviously restaurants, we've got the Secret Garden restaurant, which is downstairs, Splash Landings Hotel, and the roller coaster restaurant. The roller coaster restaurant, as he blurs his screen, is actually inside the park, and it's about 5 minutes away from here. As you can see from the entertainment, there's plenty on. You can download the app, which is to give you an idea of queues. And one thing I would say about the Alton Towers app that I quite like is you can build your day, so you can actually select which rides and which attractions you actually want to showcase on your stay. So you can put them on and you can tick them off as you go through, and it will actually keep the completion time of when you finished it, which I thought was just a nice little handy thing. If you like me, who's a little bit OCD, I always like a challenge, always like a PlayStation achievement where I can tick something off and say, yeah, we did that. So we've got the lift, obviously all themed. We won't go down that corridor because that's not where we're staying, but here you've got the Costa Coffee. So this was open last night until about 8 p.m. So I think it's Costa Coffee across the board in Alton Towers hotels and resorts. Again, on this floor, really great view. We'll go down to the next floor, which is more the food and drink area. Again, as you can see, the set piece is always there. Oh no, sorry, there is another floor. So this next floor, we've got the toilets, the arcade, and some more rooms. Again, I think that door's locked, so we won't try and open it. So you've got a nice novelty chair for photographs, Instagramming and things like that. As you can see, the lifts go to every floor. There are toilets over here. Got your standard, normally in most kind of places like this, you got your fortune telling machine, and then you've got, yeah, a bit of an arcade. It's not free obviously, but it's not expensive either. It's £1 for 10 goes on this particular one, which is the old claw machine. So you get your change from there. And then remarkably, still to this day, 2024, Daytona Championship USA, which I might be wrong, but I believe Daytona, it's certainly a Sega Saturn game. I want to say that came out in about 1994. So the fact that this is still here to this day is pretty remarkable. I'm not sure if that's a sign of how the hotel is or how endearing Daytona is. We have got a map here. I won't hover on this for too long just because of the sound effects of the machine next to me from the high five machine. So it gives you an idea of the layout of the hotels, the car park, the pods, where everything is, in case you want to come back and stay somewhere different. I think this place is pretty convenient, it has to be said. It's quite nice and smart. I don't think the theming is too over the top and childish. So if you are coming here with, say for example, slightly older children, or you just don't want to obviously be in a slightly more over the top colourful themed hotel, this is actually a really good one to stay in. So we'll just nip down. But like I say it's convenient. The CBeebies hotel is literally over the pond, so it's about 12 seconds from here. So if you stay here or at the CBeebies hotel, you've got about a 6-minute walk. The monorail, we spent about 20 minutes waiting for the monorail and another 10 minutes. Had we realised that there was quite literally a 5-minute walk and it got us to all the really good attractions straight away, we wouldn't have done that, but you should do it. Obviously you want to tick it off your list. So we'll get down here. I won't hover around too much because obviously there's people waiting for breakfast and things like that, but bottom floor, as you can see. So As I've already said, last night they had the live performer here. She was there. You can see obviously they've got all the equipment up there for lighting and sound. It has to be said, when you get into the lobby, it was very loud, it was very bassy, but as soon as you got out into the corridors and towards the room, it was absolutely fine. You couldn't hear a thing. So we've got the Alton Towers Hotel, just a kind of a seated area. There's lots of seating area, it has to be said, which is good. It's a good thing. Obviously, one thing in hotels you might end up doing is waiting around, or if you're waiting for your room or there isn't quite enough to do, you might find yourself just, sitting about for half an hour waiting to either leave or get here. So really good. And again, it maintains the theming. You've got the kind of pirate theme down here, so we've got the tables, which are the barrels. We'll go outside and give you a look at outside. So yeah, I'll walk over there, give us a bit of a better view of the hotel from the back as well. I don't think there's any bad view of the hotel. Just in there is the Secret Garden restaurant, so obviously for dinner, breakfast. The breakfast, we've had the breakfast, and that'll be on another video. It was a help yourself kind of continental breakfast, had all the full English stuff. So I had a bit of everything for everyone, so it does mean that hopefully everybody will be able to have at least a little something. It was all you can eat and included in the price, so you can't really go wrong, particularly if you're going to be in the park for a good amount of time, because at this point, and it must be a reflection of the season, obviously the park's only open 10 till 4, so one tip I would say is that if you have a lot of people, or if you're on a budget, certainly, it's probably worth just going for the breakfast here, stocking up on the breakfast, and then riding it out till later, because, like I say, when you've got all you can eat, and you've got a little family, well, the place we went to yesterday, the roller coaster restaurant me and Joe went to, we had two mains, 2 sides, and 2 drinks, and that got to about £50, and that's only 2 of us. So it's one of those that if you're eating in the resorts, you've got to be very careful, obviously, of costs. Whereas here, load up, ride out into the early afternoon, take some snacks, and you can just enjoy yourself. So yeah, there's the hotel. We'll just walk back round and then go back in. But because the hotel is obviously only, a point I was trying to make then is, because the hotels are only open, the theme park is only open 10 till 4, if you think about it, you actually haven't got a lot of time, particularly if there's a lot of you. So yesterday, I think we did a lot, to be fair, in 6 hours. We were there till it closed, and we managed to do some of the big tickets. So we did 13, Nemesis Subterra, the Curse of Alton Manor, we did that twice. We did the Gangster Granny ride, and a couple of other bits and pieces. We managed to get a table at the roller coaster restaurant, which was good, I think, because it was just the 2 of us. It was a lot easier to accommodate us, and we got in just before the lunchtime rush and the rain rush, so we managed to get a lot done in 6 hours. But it's only 2 of us, and as arrogant as it might sound, I do consider me and Joe to be somewhat of a theme park veterans. Like, once you've been to Florida and Disney a couple of times, you get used to the quick movement up and around. So, but if you're looking for a more casual holiday, you just want to take your time, you might want to consider the fact that actually, if you can have breakfast at the hotel and then that saves you an extra hour in the park, it can make all the difference. I mean, the wait times on the rides yesterday were actually pretty spot on. So 13 is the longest ride we waited for, which was 50 minutes. And I believe it was 47 minutes when we got to the ride. So genuinely, I would recommend taking that into account, because obviously when it's a day, when the park's only open 10 till 4, 57 minutes is going to take obviously a lot of time. So it's not quite open at the minute, but yesterday the Dragon Bar was open, obviously selling alcohol and things like that. So we got the Secret Garden restaurant. Like I say, we recorded that yesterday and this morning, so I won't go into there now. And obviously there's a lot of families having breakfast, so I don't think it's very appropriate to record people at 8 o'clock in the morning when they're trying to have their breakfast. We'll leave them in peace. Okay, so we've now moved into the corridor for the Arctic Explorer rooms and area. So just to give us a little bit of geography, that is the main lobby there. So the lighting is a little bit darker in here, so apologies if there is any degradation in the quality, and apologise if I sound slightly out of breath. I haven't really done any videos like this before, and I didn't realise that walking solid for 13 minutes and talking actually is quite a heavy breathing exercise. So as you can see, the rooms, the theming starts even in the corridor. So again, maintaining the Arctic Explorer theme. We've got this really cool walked in the sand on the boards kind of effect with lots of bits and pieces like rope and pickaxe and cogs and all this kind of stuff. But all the rooms, the theming starts straight away. I don't want to complain or be negative about anything, but I do have to say that this particular area of the park is hot. It feels very humid, and I'm not quite sure if that's because it's close to the water park, but it's definitely humid. So my room, mine and Joe's room, is just down here, but what we're going to do is we're going to go straight on, because I wanted to just show you the connection point between the two hotels and the conference room. So we're currently staying in 247. Just thought while we're on property at Alton Towers in April 2024 that we'd just do a quick room tour. Not done one of these before, but we thought why not. So we've ordered a Arctic Explorer room, a little bit extra, cost a little extra. It's one of the themed rooms. We're staying in room 247. As you can see, the theming already starts outside the room before we've even started. So if we go in, I'll flip the camera. So straight away you can see all the Arctic exploration, that kind of steampunk style. Got the little cabinets shaped like the safe. Everything's themed: the carpets, the bed sheet, the bed cover, walls, lights, all to give that, as I say, that old kind of like round the world in 80 days kind of feel, that kind of Captain Nemo steampunk style. Our view outside the window, not a bad one. Got those old style lights. Even the TV screen's obviously got the old style display around it to keep in with the theme. One thing I would say, if you are a fan of USB, I cannot see any USB or C outlets, so it's one of those situations where at the minute I can see three plugs on the desk. So if you are staying in this room, I would recommend that you bring the plugs with obviously the appropriate USB connector, otherwise you might find yourself in a little bit of trouble if you want to charge all your devices. There is a hotel information hub QR code. Feel free to scan that if you want to get the information, which obviously at the time of recording, April 2024, would be accurate. The keys are the old-fashioned kind of key there. So yeah, it's not a bad room whatsoever. The theming is quite nice. I think from a family perspective, this would be more than suitable. This comes with a bed here, which comes with a fold out underneath. So this room could probably comfortably have about maybe 4 people stay. I mean, they even get the complimentary activity book and crayons. I'm not going to pretend that this probably won't get completed at some point. But, you know, it's just nice little extras that they do. Room, it does come with air conditioning. It does come with the ability to open the window, which I know sounds like a little bit of a silly thing, but I do find actually the benefit of just having normal fresh air coming through, because air cons in hotels have a tendency to automatically turn themselves off and can't get quite too cold or too hot. Just have a look in this drawer. Oh yes, it comes with the hairdryer. Even the drawer handles are themed in that kind of a way, which is quite cool. We'll go have a look over here. So we've got a decent full-length mirror here, so you can see yourself and go through what you want to wear for the day or the evening. Got the tea and coffee over here, just a normal drawer. We've got a little fridge here. Yeah, a little fridge. Iron, all the bits and pieces. I've got to be honest, we put the air conditioning on for a couple of minutes before we started this video. Over here, it is quite nice and cool. So obviously it does come through, but the rest of the room, it's not quite there yet, so it might just take a little bit of time to cool down or warm up the room. Quite like the carpet. I can't remember if I've said this or not, so I will already. Kind of Arctic themed carpet. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I admit I am quite a fan of these kind of switches as well, so. And phone. It's going to sound a bit silly, maybe a bit old-fashioned, but you know, this is what we're all about, talking about these things. It's quite nice to actually have a phone in a hotel room. A number of times we stay somewhere, and if there's an issue or there's something that needs to be addressed, and there's a QR code, or you have to use your own phone, then you have to spend 5-10 minutes looking for the telephone number because they don't actually give you any contact details when you check in. It's always just nice just to have the phone straight away. Yeah, there's no particular speed dial buttons or anything, but yeah, it's not a bad room at all. I will show you the bathroom in just a moment, but yeah, I think we paid for one night, 2 adults, £153, I want to say, which did not include the tickets to the resort. Does include a breakfast. Yeah, I don't think you can go much worse than this for the price. I think it's a pretty good room. It's literally 6 minutes away from the park itself, so yeah, a tidy room, plenty of space for activities. So yeah, let's have a look at the bathroom. So the bathroom, I'll just close the doors, give us a sense of it. Again, great theming on all the doors. Got your shaver and shaver outlet there, which is good. Half decent mirror there, not a bad mirror whatsoever. Good source of light there. Decent sized sink, get your normal bits and pieces with it. Again, theming starts really nicely. Decent sized shower. Okay looking shower head, but it's got a bath, and that's always a good sign. I always do enjoy a bath, particularly if you're out in the park all day or if you're wandering about doing things all day. It doesn't hurt to be able to have a bath. Yeah, great theming. It's just the usual environmental help. But no, it was good. It's a good shower, good room, good hotel room. Really worth it. Yeah, not bad at all. So I think we'll end that video there. I would recommend this room. We have not been invited by Alton Towers. We have paid for this, so yeah, this is a ringing endorsement from us. We'll find out obviously what it's like to sleep overnight. Obviously mattresses and pillows and things like that, they are individual. Normally they're quite good, but sometimes when you're staying in a hotel, they may not be the best of quality. We'll find out. Breakfast, the park opens at 10 o'clock. You have to check out by 10 o'clock as well, so I would assume breakfast is going to start relatively early, but hopefully that information's on the QR code. If not, I'm sure we'll find that out. But yeah, thanks very much for watching this. So you can see, as soon as you walk through that door, again, just to give us a bit of a placement within the hotel, that's where we were just a few moments ago. And as soon as you walk out here, despite the fact that the sun is here, it is so much cooler. So again, apologies for any kind of short breathness on my part, but talking in that kind of humid, it's one of those, so just to be aware of it, because you know, some people, they don't like humidity. It is warm. So this way, as you can see, it's to the Conference Centre, Alton Towers Resort Conference Centre, Water Park and Splash Landings Arcade. So we'll just follow this down. We're not going to go too far, purely because there is literally a point where it says, if you have recording equipment, etc., you cannot go past because it's the water park. And obviously, even though no one's in there right now, the water park, obviously a lot of people in bathing suits, swimsuits, children, things like that. So again, I totally agree with that. You don't need to be taking any kind of recording equipment down there. So the door is open. We won't go too far in. But the conference centre, there is a conference on today by the looks of things, but like I say, we're not going to go too far in, but nice little bar area, continuing the theming. So we're still in the Explorer themed section, but again, we're not in this conference, so we're going to politely go backwards. There is a business centre just to the left, but there's a gentleman sitting there, and I don't particularly want to record people without permission. It's quite a cool mirror here. I have to confess, it kind of reminds me of the mirror in Harry Potter. I can't remember what it was called. I'm sure someone, if they're in the comments, wants to tell me, but yeah. Again, always look up. When you're in hotels, I said this in the previous video, and I don't make claims to knowing this without being told, but always look round in any kind of hotel or particularly gift shops. Say, for example, the Curse of Alton Manor's gift shop. If you look around in there's so much extra stuff to go on. Theming doesn't just restrict itself to the floor and walls. Always take the time to look up, particularly if you're in a big space. There's always stuff up on the ceilings. So again, now we can tell that the theming has changed. We're now moving more towards the park, the water park, sorry, I should say. So in just a moment, you'll see it starts to change to that kind of sandy effect. Don't want to wander around hotels too often, though. You do start to, when you're particularly by yourself, you do start to get those shining vibes. We've got some really cool pictures on the walls, some old time pictures of flying machines, and again, the walls are all a map. So again, we can't go any further here. This is the water park and the Splash Landings Hotel. As soon as you open this door, the humidity hits you. You can probably just see slightly to the right there, the water park. We're not going to go any further than this. As you can see, it says filming and photography of any kind is strictly prohibited. So it values privacy, which is really good. There is a smoking area. So there are select smoking areas throughout the hotels and the park. This isn't like other resorts, Universal, Disney, where they ban smoking outright, but there are particular areas. So I know this isn't a particularly exciting corridor, but as I say, it's just to give you a little bit of a perspective of the connection points. We're about to go outside. So we'll just go through there. And we're outside. So it's quite convenient. I mean, if it's raining, obviously you can walk through the hotel and get a little bit closer to the park without having to worry about getting too wet. I mean, you're still going to get rain, but you know, it's just the way it goes. Just follow this out a little bit. If we just turn around for a second, you'll see that was the Alton Towers Conference Centre entrance. As you can see there, just to give you a little bit of geography, there is where we started with the water feature. And again, just to give you an idea of placement, over there, that's the water park hotel just over there. That's where the water park itself is. We won't go too far. That's a video for another day perhaps. But yeah, it's like I say, it's 8:25. The parks aren't open for about another hour and a half. The park isn't open for another hour and a half. But it's something that it's quite a nice little hotel, I think. So with that being said, I think we'll time lapse our way back to the lobby and we'll say goodbye. So I think that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, do feel free to subscribe, comment, follow us. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, all Not That Media. Instagram is not.thatmedia. If you're looking for us on YouTube, we are at Not That Media, but with capital N, capital T and a capital M. If you find us via Facebook, obviously Not That Media, all the links will be there. Obviously we're trying to publish as much as we can. We're not just going to be hotels and vlogging theme parks. Got a lot of different ideas, lots of different things, a lot of horror related content, quite a bit of Doctor Who related content is the plan. My wife and I have started a podcast, Not That Horror Podcast, where we will be talking about horror movies, old and new, and various other things, kind of ghosts and monsters and ideas behind films and philosophies and thoughts, and just general kind of like spooky talk. It's early days, but we've got a lot of content coming up. If you enjoyed this hotel video, do feel free to recommend any of the others. This is the first time I've stayed here in over 15 years, and with the exception of the main piece for the balloon and the pirate theming, it's nothing like I remembered it. I think it's really good. For the money, you can't go wrong. But we haven't stayed in the water park. Happy to stay in the CBBS if there's interest. But yeah, leave us some comments. And with that being said, until the next time, stay scared.